Hello and welcome. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make a walkway. And this walkway is going to be probably one of the simplest, easiest things that you can do. So you can pretty much see my materials right there. To the right, you see the pavers. And then to the left, you see the paver stones, the edge pavers. And what I'm going to do in this episode is show you how to do this just the most affordable way. And then at the end of the episode, as I usually do, I'm going to show you the price of how much this was. So here is nothing to it. The only thing I'm going to do, and you're going to see me do in a second here, is try to get the ground kind of level and slope a little bit from the house. So when I put the walkway, and you'll see how I'll do it, I just don't want water going towards the house. So when I build my homes, I always try to direct the water away from the house in one way or another. So this house actually is great because it sits on a little bit of a hill. So all the water from three sides of the house runs away from the house. And just the front here, I want to direct the water just enough to get the water away from the house. So I don't have puddles. And when you're walking into the house, you're not walking into the puddle. So here is, I'm going to speed this up in a second, but I just wanted to show you, I had a little visitor that came by and visited me. Oh, he's a jumpy little guy. Excuse me. But I want to show you this guy. That's what I posted in the community tab, the picture of this little guy. Look at that. Try to get away. Want to see little frogger? I never seen anybody pet a frog before, but obviously I let him go. And this is where I'm going to turn on the turbo, so you're not looking. This, by the way, took maybe, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours to do. It wasn't long at all, but I sped it up. So see, this is just me with a shovel grading it a little bit, just so I have a kind of an even perimeter to work with. And eventually I try to get a little bit, see that's the side I'm working on, I try to get that away from the house, so just a little tiny little slope. And here's the plastic that I bought. That's just so there's nothing coming through, any kind of growth coming through the ground between the pavers, which I personally don't mind, to be honest. But some people don't like that, so this is the reason why I did it, and it probably doesn't even need to be done. And like I said, this just prevents grass and other stuff, weeds, to coming through the bottom between the pavers. But if this was my own house, I actually wouldn't even do that. I would just put the pavers down and call it a day. And I know what some of you might be thinking. Some of you might not like this because it is very simple and very homemade. But that's the reason why I like it. Anybody can do this. You just gotta pick these things up and just put them in place and then adjust them so they're nice and even. And you'll see that in a second here. I'll show you how it came out at the end. But this is just me smacking it in there and not even fine-tuning it yet. And that's the way it came out right there. So this is very, very simple and very, very affordable. As you can see, there's not much to it. This is the way I laid it down. It doesn't have to be perfect. And like I said, you can fine-tune it just so it's even, so your OCD doesn't mess with you if you got it, like I do. But see, look at that. Nice and simple. And I'm going to put rock between there in a second. And you'll see that as well. But this is it. So nothing to it. These are not perfect, but I'm very aware of it. But that just gives it that kind of a home, rustic kind of a feel to it. I don't know. I just love it. I've done this before and I just love how that turns out. So I'm doing the same thing on this side, only this time this side is not going to have pavers. It's strictly going to be rocks. So I'm just trying to even out the space. As you can see here, every single one of you guys can do this. This is not rocket science. Just get in there and just start messing around with it and try to get it as smooth as you can. and then just put the edge brick, the edge pavers around, and look at that. I mean, this is very, very simple, and that's the reason why I like it. And I know it's not for everybody, but I like it. So I like how it's coming out. See, that's my water heater there. If you watch the other water meter, if you watch the other episode, you know how much that is because I covered that pricing. But see, that's it. So you got that black plastic down so you don't have weeds coming through. And then the edge pavers, you can adjust them later so they're nice and even. That's how this side looks. I don't know. For something that's so simple, I like how it looks. And that's just the way I do my homes. I try to keep things simple, and you walk on it and it's perfectly fine. And you'll see me getting rock here in literally like 2-3 seconds. And here's the rock. That was half a scoop of rock, which is basically half a ton. So, and that, like I said, I covered the prices at the end of the episode, so you'll see how much this is if you're curious how much that river rock is. And I love this stuff because it's not the gray rock like I put in the driveway that you see. This is a little bit prettier. It's got brown color to it. And they're very smooth rocks to the touch when you pick them up, like little marbles or balls or whatever. So I just love how that looks, and everything is simple. All you gotta do is just do some work and empty everything out, and having a pickup truck helps, obviously. And that's it, and that's all that's to it. So you do that a bunch of 100 times, and then you spread everything around and then clean up everything. I don't know, it's just an interesting deal. I figured I'll put it in there just so you can get an idea how this is. You see me now brooming it, and there we go. So something so simple. I know some people will say, well, why don't you put mulch? I don't like mulch. To me, I think of mulch like a big buffet for all the critters out there, all the bugs and everything. And I know that rocks are not gonna be, there's no critters that eat rocks. Plus, I like how the rock looks better than mulch. Mulch, it probably would have been cheaper, but this wasn't that much money, and it just, in my opinion, just looks way, way better. And I like rock more than I do mulch, so that's the reason why I did it. So look at that. Perfect little driveway. Perfect little walkway into the driveway. And see, that's the gray rock I was talking about. That's completely different. I think it turned out great for something it is so simple. And like I said, you can clean this up and make it look good and everything, and that's this side right here. You can put some planters there, plants or whatever on this side since it looks kind of empty. Simplicity, I love it. And this stuff is not expensive at all. I mean, this is cheap and it's easy. And see, the whole project was a little bit over $200. The pavers, those square ones, were about $9 each. The black plastic was $15. River rock was $40, but $80 a ton. So I only got half a scoop, half a ton. And then the edge pavers were about $5 each. I think they were actually a little bit less. So the whole project was probably about $200 with tax and everything out the door. So we are getting close to the end, as you can probably see. And the next project, I haven't decided on the size yet, but it should be somewhere between 700 to 1,000 square feet, as you see there on the bottom. So that'll be the next project, and it'll be a 2-bedroom and 2-bath house. So it'll be a small house, but it'll have 2 bedrooms and 2 baths this time. And we're gonna do things a little bit differently, and I'll show you that obviously in the future episodes. So here the board lays on the pavers. Everything turned out great. It's easy to walk on, and it's just, I mean, I love it. It's simple and it works, and I like how it looks. And I know it's not for everybody, but hey, I like it. That's all that matters, right? And there you go. So the whole project, about $200 each, Or 200 bucks each. Well, I guess it is each. $200 for the whole project. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode.